Welcome to Aussie Afterlife podcast. This episode, well, all the other episodes and anything I've possibly said ever contains explicit language, so not for younger listeners unless you're an actual cool parent, or for those without a sense of humour. So remember to grab your headphones for the paranormal investigation episodes. And you also get to listen to my voice super close to your ear. So that could be good or bad or both. I don't really know, but anyway. But what I want you to do is grab a drink, relax, and enjoy. And come into my version of the afterlife. Could be heaven, hell, purgatory. It's probably hell, but what of it? Enjoy.
Well, welcome back to Aussie Afterlife. This is episode 64. And to celebrate the cold weather coming in, and yeah, it's cold. I live in Ballarat, Victoria. It's practically the coldest place on earth, apart from Antarctica and probably some other places as well. But yeah, it's really cold. I'm sitting here in a singlet and shorts, but that's what a heater's for. No, so just to celebrate the cold and the winter coming in, I thought I'd do another Campfire Tales episode just to warm us up a bit, just to toast a couple of marshmallows and really hear from the mouth of someone their true paranormal experiences. And I am lucky enough to have my amazing guest, Monique, from Date Night with the Ghost Gang. So she's one half of the Ghost Gang and he's the other half. But Mon messaged me the other day. Her and I were obviously mates. Let's go back. So they kindly invited me to investigate Beechworth Asylum last October, which was awesome. I've done a few episodes on it. You guys should know. Yeah. And prior to that, they've actually, both of them, Anthony and Monique, have both appeared on an episode of Aussie Afterlife. But Mon messaged me that day and she's like, Sam, I have some stories. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, how do you want to do this? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, do you want to come on the podcast? Like we can do like a Campfire Tales vibe, or you can just send them to me and I can read them. And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, come on, let's do the Campfire Tales. So, so that's really cool. So anyway, we caught up, we laughed, we had a great time, and I get to meet a very special guest that lives at her house. Yes, but Mon also recently has developed her own podcast, so I'm super proud. I reckon it's awesome. It's just really cool, and it's lovely that us women are doing something, for the ladies and stuff as well. And because obviously Date Night with the Ghost Gang is with her husband Anthony, and it is freaking awesome. Please follow, like, subscribe, do everything. It's all on YouTube. They're awesome, and you can also, catch yours truly on one of the videos. I look horrendous, but it's a wonder my faces aren't like a GIF right now, or a GIF, or whatever they're fucking called. But no, so she's got a brand new podcast out, and so she's it's called Deathly Curious Podcast Australia. Please, it's out everywhere. It's really great, and you just get to hear Mon's beautiful nature and the way that she views the paranormal side and just everything. So it's really cool. So please hit up Deathly Curious Australia podcast, and also YouTube. If you can hear the crunching in the background, it's my new puppy. Yes, I have a new puppy. I effectively have, hang on, just wait 1 minute. Wait, Archie. Archie, come here. So I now effectively have 3 cats, 2 dogs. I know. 2 dogs, 3 lizards and a snake. Yeah. So this is Archie. He is a Moodle, and I've been toying up for a little while to get another dog. And I was like, oh, no. I shouldn't really do that. That sounds crazy. I've got enough on my plate kind of thing, Next minute, this little fella pops up on Facebook. Yeah. And his name was Archie, and that's my dog's name. My very first dog that I've ever had, Archie. That was his name. I was like, that's enough of a sign. Anyway, next minute, I end up on the phone to this breeder who's absolutely lovely in Queensland, Bogan Moodles. She's also, I love her, Michelle. She's great. So I end up on the phone to her for about an hour. Next minute, within a few days, this little bubby arrives. via a plane from Queensland to Victoria, and I pick him up at the airport. I'd love to blame my ADHD on this about impulsivity and just gone, that seems like a really good idea. But something else was driving me. I really, really, as soon as I saw him, I was like, that dog is mine. That's my boy. And here he is. But yeah, I'm very, let's jump back. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm very grateful to Mon. It was fantastic having a chat with you today. We had some fun, some laughs, and I got to hear some amazing stories from your childhood, which I'm very grateful and very honoured to be able to have heard those. So we all know I love the childhood stories, like where we began, what drew us into the paranormal originally, like, you know, and that pretty much always shapes our experiences as a child. So Mon beautifully shares with me some of her most memorable paranormal experiences. But anyway, I think that's enough. Woof woof. Sorry, I watched the Michael Jackson movie a few times. But yeah, grab a drink, relax and enjoy. And let's get around this campfire. Let's get some heat because it's freaking cold.
Wow, Monique, or Mon, as I like to call you, thank you so much for taking time away from your incredibly busy schedule and, you know, your amazing new podcast, Deathly Curious Australia, and also from your brilliant YouTube channel, A Date Night with a Ghost Gang, that you share with your husband, Anthony. You know how much I adore you. You're one of my really good friends, and I'm very, very thrilled that you're willing to share this campfire with me to tell me about some of the first experiences you've ever had with the paranormal. So, the campfire and the mic is yours.
Awesome. God, I look like shit, Sam. What's going on?
No, you don't.
My God.
Nah. Do you know how to get into this? Like, I don't think you look like shit, but I had to mess around with the settings. Where is it?
No.
If you go up to the top, because you're on a phone.
Oh, let me look. What's this?
So I reckon if it's like video settings, there's like things you can go auto tune your face. So this is not this is a good face. I don't look like this. I look like shit. I'm like, oh, that looks nice and clear.
I wonder.
Because I love doing the old filter stuff.
Yeah. Filters
nothing.
My life.
Me too. I'm like, if people are like, oh, your skin's so good, I'm like, yeah, it's not fucking real. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, it is. Thanks to the filter.
I know. Oh, let me cover the boobs.
Oh, no, that's all right. All right. Thank you so much for coming onto my episode. So we've got Mon from Date Night with the Ghost Gang. So people don't remember, we went to Beechworth last year. When was that? October?
Oh, I think it was October.
Yeah.
It was cold, wasn't it?
It was cold, yeah. Victoria. You're in Sydney.
Gee,
Is it
I can't believe
Sydney?
It's meant to be. At the moment, it's not.
Yeah.
We're freezing our asses off, honestly.
Yeah, we've had like unseasonably nice weather right up until probably like 2 weeks ago. Like, and I'm in Ballarat, and Ballarat's freezing. Like, it's notorious freezing. And now the winter's here. So I'm just like, fuck.
You've stolen our nice weather.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so here you've got a few, of course you would have many ghost stories for me, but I hear that you've got quite a few. Got a couple planned?
I've got a couple of stories from childhood because I thought I've told a lot of stories over different podcasts and stuff like that of our paranormal investigation experiences. But I haven't said a lot about my childhood and what I experienced growing up.
I love that. Yeah. That's because that's pretty much where all of our interests and stuff start to happen is as a kid. Like, it's, you know, whether I've only got probably a handful of experiences, but they're enough that I remember them pretty crystal clear to this day. And like, there's even ones that have happened to me of recent that I'm like, oh, what actually happened? I can't remember. But the ones as I was a child, they're the ones that are probably like have the most impact on us. I
think so. I think so. It's like the catalyst for everything.
Definitely.
So the first experience I'd like to start with is probably where Okay, let me start again. The first one I'd like to start with is really the catalyst for paranormal investigation for me. I was about 10 and I don't know where my parents were, but it was myself, my sister, some of her friends, and we were sitting around the lounge room of our house. So this is back 80s, early 80s. And it was mid to late afternoon, and we're sitting around telling ghost stories because that's just who we are and what we did. And the TV was on, and it was one of those old brown box TVs this is prior to us being able to afford remote control TVs. So we're sitting around, TV on, just talking ghost stories. And we came to this story about a local boy who had been riding his bicycle through bushland that led towards a big oval. And he had to ride over this little bridge through the trees, and underneath was this creek. He was only about our age, so probably 10 to 12, and I don't know how, but he's come off his bike. And somehow the story goes that he's hit his head and drowned in the creek. And this boy was the brother of some other boys that we went to school with. And so we're just discussing that, and we noticed that the volume on the television increased as we were talking about him. And we sort of went, oh, I wonder if that's him. And we had little giggles, all girls. And the volume went down again. And we said, oh my gosh, I wonder if that is him. And someone said, if that's you, turn the volume up. Well, nothing happened. And so I tried. And I said, hey, I can't remember his name. Let's just say David. And I said, hey, David, if you're here with us, can you turn the volume on the TV up for us again? And it responded immediately. And we thought, what the hell is going on? Still giggling, nervous giggles. And so it went up again, and they said, do it again, Monique. I think he likes you. So I said, okay, can you turn it back down? It responded. And we were just blown away. I think one or two of the girls left the room freaking out. And I remember myself, my sister, and there was someone else in the room, so it was probably her best friend. And we were still playing around with it. And I said to my sister, will you try? She tried and it didn't happen. But every time it came back to me, it would respond. And we thought, okay, well, something's here. Someone's here. It's responding. I don't even think remote controls were thought of for us. It was one of those old televisions that I remember the clicking sounds. Do you know the old dials, and it'd go click, click as you change channels, and windy, windy as you turn the volume up and down. It was one of those ones that you had the aerials, like the bunny ears on top, and when that didn't work, you'd get a coat hanger, and if it played up, you'd sort of bang, bang, bang on the top of it to make it work. Well, never again did we have issues with the volume of that TV. It didn't happen before, it didn't happen after. So it's just really stayed with me because it was so obvious that we were connecting with someone and no explanation. So, yeah, it's really stayed with me, and I often think about those brothers, and I think I wonder if he's tried communicating with them as well, But it wasn't too long after the accident that happened. So I'm hoping he moved on. But we really don't know. It's bizarre how when you put the thought and energy into a situation, like us talking about him, that you can manifest a connection. And people say that, how can psychics and people connect with someone on the other side of the world? How can you connect with the loved ones of that person who have passed over? But it's all energy. It's all energy. It's just intention. So it really opened me up more to the possibilities. So that's my first story.
I've written, obviously, if you're watching me, as I said, I'll be writing stuff down because otherwise I'll just forget things. Yes, I completely know what TV, because I had one of those TVs in the box with and like channel 2, you'd be like, bang, it's like, what? You get
the fuzzy, the white noise. It'd be good if he had have spoken through the white noise, but...
Oh no, they'd be like Poltergeist, when that girl disappears into the TV. I've actually seen it, but that's probably very bad of me to have not seen Poltergeist, but I'm just like, that's all right. I know what happens. I know the premise. So
it's not as good as I remember. I watched it a few years ago thinking, I've got to watch Poltergeist. Yeah. No, I was actually laughing. It was so bad.
I reckon I tried to watch it and I'm like, I watched better shit than this. I'm like, that's all right.
I know, things have come a long way.
The weird thing is I actually got a bit of deja vu when you started talking about oh God, what was it? Telling ghost stories, and like just that, as soon as you were starting, I got this deja vu thing. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, hello, I wrote that down actually. But so obviously, yeah, so the child falling off the bike, that you're always around the same, all of you are around the same age. Now I know this, if you're happy to talk about it, you have gifts relating to some psychic abilities and mediumship, yes?
Yeah.
So do you think that played a massive part in that?
Definitely.
Yeah. You're probably the only one that could have that connection. Maybe everyone else might have just been a little bit too blocked off. And
well, it opened my sister. It's bizarre, Sam, because my sister and I have always had an interest ever since we can remember, even prior to this. I don't know why. It's just part of our makeup. So she has abilities as well.
Yep.
Maybe that intensified energy between the two of us instigated something.
Yeah. And how old's your sister? What's the age difference?
She's a couple of years older than me. So
maybe it was because the similar age difference, you had a bit more in common, maybe.
Correct. Yeah. But it's bizarre. We used to have all sorts of experiences that we couldn't explain. I don't know if I've told you before, but probably the first I could remember when we were kids, and I'm going off track a bit here, but when we were kids, we took a year off mainstream schooling. Mum and my stepdad decided to travel around Queensland in a camper van. Well, it was an old removalist truck that my stepdad had converted to a camper van. It was amazing. So we travelled Queensland for a whole year, and we did correspondence schooling most of the time. But I think the first psychic experience I can recall now is travelling towards Mount Isa. So we're in the outback, well, towards the outback, and it was hot, 40-degree days. We had no air conditioning. We're going down roads that I think we called them corrugated roads because they were so dry that they developed these bumps like corrugated iron all the way. So, you know, this red dust and corrugated roads and no one for miles. However, there were road signs here and there. And I don't know where it was. It was in Queensland somewhere. And I'm sitting up front in the cab with my stepdad and my mum. And my sisters were in the back, probably just playing Barbies or something. And I said, ABBA. And because they were my favourite group back then. And Mum said, what are you talking about? And I said, the big sign down the road. And she said, there's no signs. Like, what are you talking about? We're in the middle of nowhere. And then a couple of kilometres down the road, we came across a big billboard that was advertising an ABBA concert or their new album or something like that. And my mum, the colour just drained from her face. She said, how did you know that? And I said, I saw it. I couldn't explain it. I was only about 7. So that was probably the first psychic experience I can remember.
That's so cool.
It was the start of something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that.
So do you usually are you more sort of like clairvoyant or clairaudient? What would you sort of say you're more leaning towards, or?
It's a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I find, though, that the clairvoyance comes pretty easily. Clairaudience is kind of in and out, but it's that clear knowing that is the strongest.
Yep.
You know, that
the cognizant.
Really,
yeah.
It's just, you just know shit. You just
I know, it's wild, isn't it? Like, I never thought that I had any kind of thing, and then just of late, because I've been one of my best friends has been helping me out understand a lot more of this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that is. The clairaudient, not so much. I can kind of occasionally, mine's the same, can kind of like come in and out, but definitely the cognizant and the feeling though too. I get a lot of really strong feelings and stuff, and just knowing things, but also like images in my mind sometimes. And also if I am like communicating with something, I can kind of get like it's like as if they've put like the thought in, or like it's not like I don't hear their voice, it's like in my thought, but it's from, it's hard to explain. It's so hard to explain without saying that I sound insane, but like it's really crazy.
It's basically clairaudience when you can hear they impress their thoughts into your mind, and you can actually feel the energy around your head.
Yeah.
But you're not hearing. It's very rare that I've heard something that sounds physical in my ear. It usually comes in a thought.
Yeah, that's how mine is, like all the time, is the thought, and it's like it happens so quick you can't even think it. Like you don't even have the time to be able to even think, oh, what would this say, or like what would this person say, or what, you just can't. It just comes so quick. It's like quicker than any other thought you could have. Like it's like breathing. It's like it just happens so naturally, you don't even know. Like it's just like, oh, I didn't even have time to think about that. Like
exactly right. And that's when they say you can determine whether it is spirit or not, because when you're just sitting here and all of a sudden, oh, where did that come from? It's come from the spirit. I'm not going nuts. There's something there. I'm not going, but it's hard sometimes. I don't know. It comes so quick. You can determine that. Okay, that was clairaudient thought. They come in similar ways, but the energy is coming from different places. So you can determine. Okay, that was clairaudience, and yes, that was clairvoyance.
Yep.
But it's sort of coming in the same way. But does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's so bizarre too, because I'll end up getting, like, I get images as well with that. Like I can pick up on people and I'll just sort of start thinking about describing, and I don't think too much on it. But if I just get a flash of something, I'm like, okay, that's weird for me just to have thought about that just then. But I still am trying to trust myself. So I end up just writing like a whole heap of stuff down, and like majority of like 95% of it I can confirm with the person if I'm with them and I've picked up on something, which is really cool. But yeah, definitely flashes. And then obviously, and I can pick up the energy of the vibe of the person, if that makes sense. Like if they were a bit cheeky or stern, or a bit gruff but pleasant, or a bit grumpy and not, like I can kind of like, I can't hear the actual tone of the voice, but it's like you just pick up it's so
you
weird.
You
so
feel
weird.
their energy.
Yeah,
you feel their energy. And I liken it to if you walk into a room and you're meeting someone, you feel their energy. It's the same. Okay, that's a gruff kind of person and they've got mama issues or whatever. You just know.
It's like, wow, I'll be hanging out with you again. It's like, oh, thank you, bye. You sound a bit of an asshole.
Why? What did I do?
I know. And definitely I get really good vibes about people too, which is awesome. Like I'm very empathetic to the point where it's detrimental at times, but I'm getting better at identifying to what's mine and what's someone else. I'm thinking, hang on, it's come out of nowhere. I'm like, I don't think this is my emotion I'm feeling, and then it usually subsides. It's like just recognizing it. But I used to get all like wound up and anxious and stuff about things, and I'm sitting, why am I like this? And think it's not even mine. So now I'm getting like a lot better at just understanding and deciphering the difference, which is really cool.
And it is tough when you're not aware of those abilities so much, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going nuts. Like all of a sudden I'm anxious and I don't know why. And I believe a lot of the time you're just picking up on other energies around you.
Yeah, definitely. Like at a recent, I've sort of worked out too, because I just used to get these really intense, quick, well, not really quick, but like really intense kind of anxiety feeling in my chest. And I was like, where is this coming from? I'm happy as. And then I'd get like a flood of thoughts about different stuff. And I'm like, oh, and I was talking to my friend, we've actually worked out that that's how my body responds when I'm picking up on a spiritual thing going on around me. So now I'm just like, I just breathe into it. And I'm like, okay, no, this isn't. And I just sit there, and then I can actually be able to identify different thoughts and different things, or like messages or whatever. And like, because beforehand I'm like, I'm so anxious, I can't handle it. And not like, but that's just my, like that's just the way my body was reacting to, I think, just in like energy coming at me quite quickly. So it's but yeah, like without one of my best mates, Lols, I wouldn't have had no idea. I reckon I would have just gone, and I'm fucked. Like so yeah. Can
I ask you, like, okay, I'm just taking the mic for a second.
No. Take the mic all you want. Hell yeah.
I'm just curious, because I find when I try not to do shopping centres and stuff for too long, like big crowds. I freak out when I'm in the city, for instance, and all these people and energies. I'm like, I can't handle too much of it. How are you if you walk into a shopping centre and you've got to spend a few hours in there, you're looking for something, you don't know what? Do you really feel the energies?
Yeah, I hate it. When I was younger, the weird thing is, when I was younger, I used to love like nightclubs and I used to love being busy. I used to love the city life. I used to love it all. I think that's because I wasn't opened up to anything at that point. I think I'd shut it off. So I wasn't, whether I was picking up on things or not, I'd always have really good instincts with stuff. But had no idea that I had anything spiritual going on. And it wasn't a big part of my life either. Like this has only sort of been the last probably 5 or 6 years that I've really kind of dived in. And now that I'm more open, oh my God, do I love my quiet time. I'm so more sensitive to noise, too much activity going on. Like my brain feels like it's about to explode. But I'm neurodivergent as well, so it's kind of like, But I'm like, I can kind of tell the difference between it being overwhelming, or I'm kind of like, all right, people just need to shut the fuck up. Like, but yeah, I hate going shopping. I don't even like the supermarket. I do it, but I like literally write lists and I make everything very targeted, so I'm not just out wandering pointlessly, because I fucking hate it. Like, I get really overstimulated really quickly. It's just
I'm the same. And then you get home and you're like, oh my gosh, and you feel so drained.
I know, and it's like if one more person asks me for something, and it's kind of like, but no one's really asked me for anything. And I think it's just, I don't know whether it's just so much going on, and my thoughts will end up just going like fast as well. So I think my body's even trying to keep up with what I'm picking up and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's really, it's bizarre. How much? Oh, this is... All right. So, let's, do you want to get to your second story?
Yeah, so this one is a bit more intense, I felt. This is jumping ahead a couple of years. So maybe I was about 12. And a friend of mine, she was from a divorced family, and it was just her mother and her older sister that lived in this townhouse. And she used to always tell me scary things that would happen, and I never believed her. She'd say every new house we go to, and they moved around quite a lot. I believe they were renting, and it was hard for her mum to find anything stable in regards to work and housing and that sort of thing. So, but she told me she believed that a lot of the paranormal experiences they had were due to her older sister, who used to delve in witchcraft and like the darker side of things, Ouija boards and stuff like that. And she felt like things followed them around. And I know her sister also had lots of their perceived mental health issues. I don't know if it had to do with what she played around with or not, but it really opened my eyes up to the darker side of the paranormal. And we used to have sleepovers occasionally. This one particular night, she just moved into a new townhouse, and she said, "Look, Mum's going out for the night. Can you come over, spend time with me? I'm scared to be alone. My sister's out with friends." Her sister would, she was a couple of years older, so she would have been probably about 16. But she was taking recreational drugs. She was drinking already, getting herself into a lot of trouble. And so Rhonda was home alone. And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll come and sleep over." I didn't really believe a lot of the stories she'd tell me. So off I go. And it was getting late. Of course, it always would come back to telling ghost stories. With a lot of my friends, I think I just attracted that. And we were sitting in the kitchen of the house, tiny, tiny little kitchen, and just having a drink, making some later night snacks, that sort of thing. The dining table was only small. It would probably only fit 2 or 3 people, a circular dining table directly above, and it was off the kitchen. So it's really like a sitting area. And above the table was a light. It was just the light globe. There was no cover over it or anything like that. Telling ghost stories, and all of a sudden, the light bulb, for some reason we look up and we see this light globe just fall out of the fitting. It smashed onto the table. The glass just shattered. We scream and we ran out into the garage. So the funny thing is that it was one of the screw-in light bulbs. So it would take a bit of force to unscrew it enough for that to fall out. It had been working. It hadn't been flickering or anything like that, so it wasn't a loose connection. We couldn't explain how this just kind of fell out and smashed. But like I said, we ran into the internal garage. There was an internal door to this garage. We were too scared to go back into the house. She had a little dog with her, like Toto, one of those little dogs. The dog, we had the garage door up, and we were freezing. It was the middle of winter, and she had old bags of clothes in there. She's saying, hang on, I'll just find some jumpers or something and we'll just go out through the garage door. I'm not going back into the house, and we'll go for a walk until Mum comes home. And the dog started barking at the roller door to the garage that was up, and like growling barking, not just barking. It was terrified of something. You know, they kind of get down on their haunches like they're ready to attack. And with that, the roller door slowly started coming down. So we just bolted out of that garage. Once we were out, the roller door slammed onto the concrete. So it was coming down slowly. Once we were out, it went bang. This dog was just going psycho. We picked it up. We ran next door to, because these were townhouses, we ran next door to a friend's house who lived in a proper house, and sitting on the veranda saying, please help us, there's a ghost in the house. And they came out, and they must have thought we were nuts, but we were crying. We were crying. The mum had gone up to the local RSL club, and this kid's mum called up the club and said, hey, the girls are scared. The girls are scared. They think something's in the house. You better come home. Because, you know, you can page people if you ring up clubs and stuff like that. She came home. She said, oh, I know. Things have been happening a lot lately. It's okay, girls. We'll be fine. And I'm thinking, do I go home? I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to sleep in this house. And I'd been told things about the fourth stair going up the stairs because it was 2-story. And she always used to tell me that sometimes you feel like someone grab you as you jump over that fourth step. So don't step on the fourth step, jump over. I don't know what there was to that, but it could have been mind over matter, mass hysteria, whatever. But I swear I felt something grab my ankle going up those stairs. But we went upstairs to go try to get to sleep. Laying in her room, okay, she pulled out a mattress from a second room or something, and she's placed it beside her bed because she said, I don't want you sleeping alone. I don't want to sleep alone, so you're just going to lay on this mattress beside my bed and we'll just comfort each other. So we ended up holding each other. And so scared, I said, leave the light on. I can't sleep with the light off. And we were so tired. We could not sleep. So closing our eyes, and we hear scratching on the walls. This scratching, okay, so you imagine this house. It was brick. The townhouse was brick, but the inside, do you remember in flats or apartments, they have that popcorn kind of paint effect to the walls? You just imagine scratching your fingernails down that. You can hear it, right? You can hear that's what we heard. She also had a curtain rod that was leaning up against one of the walls. So we hear this scratching. We're saying, do you hear that? Do you hear that? Oh my God, I can't move. We were freaking, we were frozen, and we were just hugging each other. With that, the curtain rod fell onto the floor. Again, we bolted out of there. Her mum was still in the kitchen. We told her about the light globe, so there was no light over the dining table anymore. Her mum had to clean it up, but we sat with her for hours and hours just talking. Could not sleep. I did not go back there again. No way. I said, next time you're coming to my house to sleep. No. What is that? It wanted our attention, but I have no explanation. It was definitely much darker than the little boy that I'd experienced a few years before. So that's my second story.
Well.
Oh my God.
I just have to say, I can't believe you didn't go home.
No, I didn't.
You're just like, all right, do I stay? I'm like, oh, this is a bit awkward. It's like, hey, you good here? I'm like, Mum, like, shit. Like,
no.
I can't believe you stayed there. You're just like, look, I'm in it with her now. I've got to just ride it to the end.
I know. And this sounds like a freaking movie, but it's
terrifying.
it was terrifying. And it's just something else that made me think, oh my God.
There's something more to this.
There's something more to this world. And like I was saying earlier, just with that first psychic experience that I had as a little girl, before that, like I say to you that I always had an awareness as long as I can remember in the spiritual and the afterlife. I think back to when I was probably about 4 or 5, looking in the mirror at myself and thinking, hang on, this isn't me. And just having that knowing that I was a soul inside this particular body, knowing that, no, that face, that isn't me, that body's not me, I'm within that. And so that awareness has carried me through life. Reincarnation definitely makes sense to me. Spirit makes sense to me, because just having that knowing, it just all relates.
Yeah, that's wild. That's such like a very complex idea for a young child to have, though, too. Like, without it being distressing as well, not kind of like, hang on, this is not like a depersonalization where you're like, hang on, I don't recognize myself, like kind of a weird distressing thing, but that just knowing that there's more to yourself and more to your soul and more to everything rather than just a body, flesh, whatever. Yeah, like I think that's such an advanced thought for anybody to have, really, because a lot of people are, well, we know that some people are just like, yeah, nah, we just die and all the rest of it. There's very limited.
Yeah,
everyone's different.
One student, we're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's doing with their beliefs and the ability to actually understand or even have that as a cognitive thought or even an appreciation, have that at such a young age. It's pretty wild. Like, it's a lot.
It's bizarre. And I think of that still now, obviously, and I think, wow, like, I don't believe my kids have ever said anything like that to me. And it is very bizarre to just have that knowing at such a young age.
Bizarre, but in a good way, like a very like highly emotionally intelligent, amazing way. Like, not bizarre as in like, oh God, that's weird. Like, as in like you would not see that often in anybody. Like, that's such an amazing, like, that just shows like how amazing your brain is and like your different intelligence levels and stuff, especially at that young age. It's that concept itself would be, even looking at developmental stages and stuff, would be pretty hard to even fit that in. So that's really cool.
It's bizarre. And like, even at that young age too, well, growing up, I remember Mum always, I was so quiet as a kid, and I'd come into the room, Mum would have people over and I'd just be sitting there beside her, really quiet, like a mouse, and people would say, oh, she's so quiet, does she ever talk? And Mum would always say, don't worry, she's taking everything in. So I was just sensing everything about everyone, and it would just make me internalize.
Yeah, no, I love that. My mum always used to say how placid I was as well as a child, but like, yeah, really for my own mum's like, you're always off in your own world doing something, like you're off talking, very imaginative kind of thing. And now I'm thinking like, oh God, like, and I was so happy being by myself, but I never felt lonely ever. And I don't know why that is. Like, I was happy being alone because I could really just kind of really, I was very, very, very shy and very quiet. Now I could probably do with more of shutting the fuck up at times, but whatever. I have a podcast, so that's my excuse.
Wow, I just want to say another big thank you to Monique from Date Night with the Ghost Gang, and also her brand new podcast, Deathly Curious Australia, which she does solo, which is awesome. Date Night with the Ghost Gang. She pairs up with her amazing husband, Anthony, who I have previously investigated with. Guys, check out my Beechworth Asylum episodes, which are just recent. But thank you so much. In the next episode, so the next part, we have so much fun. There's heaps of laughs. And I also get introduced to a very special guest, or a very special, I don't know, something that I never planned on meeting. So, but yeah, so just wait till episode 65 and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But please look up Date Night with the Ghost Gang on YouTube. As I always do, I put the links everywhere, but please check them out on YouTube, like, follow, subscribe, watch their vids. They're awesome. I've probably had one of the most best and craziest paranormal investigations with them at Beechworth. That's one that I bitched out and left earlier, so it was wild. But also, please check out Mon's separate venture, which is Deathly Curious Australia podcast. And yeah, but I hope you guys have a really safe week, and I look forward to bringing you episode 65 and part 2 of my date night with Mon. But yeah, you guys have a safe week, okay? Goodbye.